What's up, wave makers? It's me, Mommy Suna. Look at this graph. And we have such an exciting video today. I just jumped off the call that you're about to watch with Jeremy. He is an ex-Color Street rep, and he really shared a lot, which honestly, it was kind of shocking to me. There was just a lot of stuff coming from Color Street of all companies. I'm like, what? I mean, this shouldn't surprise me, but it totally does. So buckle in. It's gonna be a interesting conversation. I think you guys will like it a lot. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Double check if you think you're subscribed to this channel. Please do me a favor and double check that you're still subscribed, because YouTube likes to do this thing, and it's doing it again very recently, that it's just like making people unsubscribe from me. So please make sure you're subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, just do it. Okay, thank you. And then leave your likes and comments and stuff. Anyway, thank you. And of course, thank you, Jeremy, for having this conversation with me. It was very enlightening, and I think you guys will love him because he's just the best. So let's watch. This video is sponsored by Casetify. Earth Day is coming up, and with Casetify, you can feel good about the cases you use to protect your expensive technology. Their impact and ultra impact cases are made with 65% recycled material, and they also have a re-Casetify program where you can literally just like send them any phone case from any company. Doesn't have to be from Casetify, and they'll help you recycle it, and then you get a discount on your next order with Casetify if you do that. Just lots of ways that Casetify is helping our planet. Also, Casetify's Chi-Tech 2.0 technology offers a drop protection of 9.8 feet. You've seen me drop my phone from my staircase, but this time I just gave my phone to my 1-year-old baby. He tries to destroy my phone on a daily basis, but with Casetify's protection, I don't have to worry. Plus, their cases feature Defensify, an antimicrobial coating killing 99% of bacteria. They're also non-toxic and non-hazardous, so okay, kid, chew on my phone, I guess, I don't care. And you don't have to sacrifice looks for all of this protection either. You can choose from Casetify's endless print options or personalize a case with your favorite font and design layout for a truly custom case. This is one that I customized, and also Jeremy, who is in the video that you're watching, the one that I interviewed, sent me this little pop socket of a little kitty, so I put it on the phone case that I customized with Casetify that says meow on it. So I thought it was perfect. Obviously, this was a gift from Jeremy. It doesn't come with the case, but I just wanted to show it off because it's cute. But then also there's this case I customized. It says Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss on it. And these are the two designs I chose from their catalog. This one says Girl Boss. This one's a cool little mandala. And I know I keep telling you guys I'm a phone case snob now because of them, but like when I tell you like this, they're sturdy. So check out Casetify today. You can go to casetify.com/SavannahMarie to save 15% off your order. Casetify cases also make great gifts for friends and family, so snag that sweet discount and get something nice for yourself or someone you care about. Thanks again to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Now let's jump into the interview. I think you guys are gonna really love it. Well, first of all, I do like the fact that your shirt just says I'm Jeremy. So I'm Jeremy doing Jeremy. Jeremy, thanks.
Available on Amazon. I feel like it was $12.
It just kept getting better the more you kept going up in the frame.
I just typed in Jeremy shirts, and it was there was a selection.
Oh my god, hold on! I already have to stop this Zoom call to see.
I feel
if
like
there's
Savannah you would have a shit ton of cute ones.
That's why I gotta look, man. Well, a lot of them might be Georgia related. There's one that looks like a nutrition label.
How many calories are you per serving?
There's no calories, but it says I'm 1000% hardworking. I guess I basically just wanted to like know your story, because from what you've told me, you've had a bit of a wild ride in Color Street. So what made you join? Well, first of all, was Color Street your first MLM? Have you been in other MLMs before, or was it just Color Street?
Color Street was my first. My mom, during her divorce, like when I was in high school, did like the hold up. Back in the day, my mom did Amway.
Oh, shit.
And, oh, yes, girl. So she's always been an MLM. So I just always saw it around. So, and then even like she sold Mary Kay, and like she sold Pampered Chef and just everything. So like I just always, and during her divorce, like it was a means of hustle to pay the mortgage.
Right.
And so I just always like saw that, I guess, as like that was what was mirrored to me, like he's shown to me. So I never had a bad taste about him. So Color Street was my first. And there was a girl in my salon who sold Color Street. And I saw like her clients, people would come in, like even not on their day to get their hair cut, and come in to like get Color Street from her.
What? Okay,
yes.
wait. So
Yes.
Was she a okay? Because everyone who's watching this, if they don't know who you are, you're a hairstylist by trade, right? That's your profession. How long have you been doing that for?
About 5 years.
Nice, sick. Okay, so this is a hair salon, or
Mm-hmm.
She's not a nail technician or anything.
No, no, like, and that is, I guess, being in a cosmetic, because you can get like in Colorado, you can get just a hairstyling license, or you can get like full cosmetology, which would then include a little bit of like nail education. But like, you can definitely give yourself an infection if you like go rooting around in there and you like are doing too much.
Yeah.
So like, I will say, I don't know what her tea was, but they would just come in and like, get this Color Street, get this Color Street. Girls that worked there were buying it. And people that I felt like were, because, you know, I'm skeptical about, so especially like these days when everything costs $1 million. I was like, what's up with this? And like, I always approached it from like, I want to make some extra money. That was my whole thing. So then I went to her and she was supposed to bring me samples, and like weeks went by and I kept reminding her and she never did. So I was like, this girl is not my speed. So I actually went to Instagram and like typed the hashtag like Color Street Stylist, and just went and looked for the people with the most followers, the most professional looking content, and the most engagement and a high title. And so that's how I found who I wanted to sign up under. But that's like the beginning of it. Oh, but sidebar, the girl, when I posted on my story, like the congratulations, I've just begun the biggest journey of my life in Color Street. Or no, that was like hers to mine with like the psh, psh, like
yeah, she's like, oh my god, like she was probably so fucking mad that you didn't sign up under her.
She sent me a text message that said, or no, she started acting kind of shady, and was being weird. And it's like, we work in the same salon, so I'm seeing this girl every day. She's being like really weird. And so eventually I reach out because I'm like, hey, like I felt like the energy was a little weird and I just want to like touch base. I'm not a dumb bitch. Like, I know she was gonna feel some type of way, but it's like, girl, I don't have time for you to wait around for you to get your shit together. So she got super, super mad, made it awkward, told our boss, and said that she was like, I just see your true colors now. Like, you are just only out for yourself. Turned a couple of the other girls like against me. I don't want to say it like that. Some of the girls that she was close with felt the same way, that I was like opportunistic for not, because she was like, I was the one that told you about Color Street, and was like, got our boss involved. Like, so I actually kind of like bowed out gracefully because it was, but like, so the owner of that salon doesn't even know that that's the real reason why I left.
Wow.
But
that's wild. Well, the thing is that like when you work at a professional place, like usually, and I don't know, I know salons are different because they're usually like owned by individual, like private people. Like, for example, like when I worked at my big corporate job, it was like a thing where you couldn't bring that shit to work. You couldn't sell other shit, even if it wasn't competing with what we were selling. Like, you just can't, on company hours, like if you were on payroll, if you were being paid by the company, you cannot then bring in your own side business and start trying to sell it to people. So maybe the rules are different, you know, your boss, maybe she didn't care or whatever, but like that's a kind of a normal thing, like in, I guess, corporate America, is that like you just don't talk about that stuff. You don't do that. You don't bring that to the workplace. So to hear that it was such a big fucking deal at your place of work that you were like, I'm out of here. Like, an MLM fucking ruined your job. It ruined your work experience. And that's too far.
At this particular salon, it was like a booth rental. So everybody was an independent contractor. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so honestly, and these MLMs kind of like prey on the hairstylist because they're like, you're in the beauty industry already. And that's what I was telling myself. I'm like, I'm already in the beauty industry. This ties in perfect. Like, this shit is selling like hotcakes. I think that's the difference, because like the salon I went to, oh my God, you will die. So the salon I went to, was like in Denver, very much an affluent area of Denver, like high scale, I'll call it, whatever. Girl, I go in for the interview. What do you know about in the retail area? They have a little basket of Color Street. I swear to God.
Oh my God. And that is so strange. Because, like, honestly, I've never seen Color Street really, like, out anywhere. Like, you got the In Coco and coconut nail art you see in, like, Walmart and Ulta and shit. But, like, I've never actually seen someone trying to straight up sell Color Street at a place of business. And it's so weird to me.
This was like one of the nicest, like I don't get no nicer. And like, so like I did not tell her I was like a stylist at the time. Cause I'm like, girl, I'm embarrassed to tell you, and you own the salon.
Right.
Like, what are you doing with these, first of all, retired sets? Sitting in this basket in direct sunlight, like,
oh yeah, you're gonna get those home and they're gonna be dried out
AF. But I guess like I kind of got the tea like low key, and I guess like her niece like conned her into signing it up. So, but those nails, just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, those nail strips sat. Okay,
I have to ask you, because I don't know if you know my past with Color Street, but I've used Color Street. I did a deep dive on it, and then, like, I opened a P.O. box, and a bunch of people in my audience were like, I have so much Color Street, just take it, just take it. It's literally, I still have some. I won't use them anymore. I should probably throw them out, because they fucked up my nails, dude. And I don't know if they like made my nail beds really like dry and flaky after wearing them for a few months. So I don't know if that's a regular thing, but to me, like, I don't have that experience with regular nail polish. And I know these are supposed to just be regular nail polish strips, but I had a weird nail bed reaction to them. So I'll never wear them.
I feel like anytime you like, because they're like 100% real nail polish, right, which like maybe, but I feel like they have to do something extra on the layer that applies to your like nail.
Something's different.
What is it called? The plate? Yeah. For it to do everything that it does.
Right.
And not go from wet to dry. So exactly. I would imagine.
There's got to be something in it that was weird. But I even had an old friend of mine like invite me to a Facebook party for Color Street like a year ago or something. And she's got the most beautiful natural nails. And like, I don't. I have like nasty man hands. But like, she's got beautiful nails. And I like straight up told her, I was like, listen, first of all, it's a fucking pyramid scheme. Second of all, do not put that shit on your beautiful nails, because it ruined mine. But so you didn't really have a bad experience with the product at all?
I don't even paint my nails. So anytime I ever took pictures, I was invested. I immediately went on Amazon, got like a whole bunch of fake nails, because I was really excited to create content and like enter this space of women. Like I was excited by the whole like team of it, but I was going in like, I'm going to shake things up and do things my way, just like I always do, and tap into like a different market. So I started doing crazy like looks on fake nails, like cutting up dollar bills and like just doing stuff like that. And, but in terms of customers reporting to me that it trashed their nails a couple times, and then it's like, I asked my upline, like, what do I say when, like, I'll take a screenshot and send it, like, what do I say? And this is okay, girl, this is kind of like the common theme that it's like one of my pet peeves in life. And it's like what really put a beat in my bonnet. When you ask somebody something and they do not address your issue and come back with you with some irrelevant ass shit. Like, yeah, girl, why are you having me sending her application videos when her nails are trash?
Right. It's like, that's not what I asked. I mean, classic MLM, like 101. Please address this problem. And then they just distract from it, and yeah.
Or they'll be like, that's weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
And you're like,
they never want to actually take responsibility for anything, so.
Or they just need more education. It's probably an application problem.
Dude, I mean, when I used Color Street, I did it myself, and they worked the way they were supposed to. It's very simple. Honestly, it's like you don't need an application video for them. They're so easy to understand. You're blaming the customer. Oh, well, her nails look like shit because she obviously applied it wrong. It's like, no. No.
Also, too, I feel like when you get into like the glitters and like the thicker ones, like you have to scrub those off, ma'am.
I think they're a good idea in theory, but like I would never like buy anything from an MLM. So I would never buy Color Street because of that. But also like they're so overpriced.
Oh, they just raised the prices, baby doll.
Did they?
And then like a $16 polish remover.
What?
Yeah, they just, because of course it's like special for Color Street.
Of
Girl.
course. So if you don't use the Color Street one, then of course your nails are fucked up because you used acetone from the grocery store. Like,
the solids are now $12. They used to be, oh yeah, I guess everything went at like $1.
okay.
This one looks like $1.50.
But to
and then
me,
I guess
I'm like, you could buy a whole bottle of like good nail polish for that price and get multiple uses out of it. I don't like the Color Street thing. I'm like, I don't get it at that price point. If it's just nail polish, then why is it so expensive? Oh, I don't know, because it's the fucking MLM business structure that drives the prices up, probably. Because like when you would buy in cocoa from Walmart or something, or coconut nail art, whatever, I think they were selling it for like $5.98. Is the same shit. So I'm like, okay, why is Color Street so much more expensive? And they always tried to say that it was because there's more designs and you get a colorist and or a stylist to help you put them on and shop for you. I'm like, I don't need someone to shop for my nail polish for me. Like, I think I know what I like. Thank you very much.
I never understood that whole like doing the customer's order for them, or like they used to push us to do these bulk orders in our group, and it's like, do these bulk orders, and because we have a launch coming up and this and that, and you know, like you get all the orders together and you place the order. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing that? Like, this is why I pay my stupid $10 for my stupid website.
Was it to get you to kind of be like, oh, so that you pay for the shipping and then like you hand it out to everyone else so they don't have to pay shipping? Because that's what they did for me when I was in Lime Live. They'd be like, if you have like 3 people who want to make an order, you place the order, you collect money from them, and then when the order comes in, you pay for the shipping, obviously, and then when the money comes, or when the order comes in, you just go hand it out to everyone, and then it's just like, oh, you don't have to pay shipping. And then you could go on Facebook and be like, I'm doing a bulk order. If you want to get all my shit without paying shipping, let me know. And yeah, so that's what they would do in Lime Life. But
I think also too, because with Color Street, they've always had the buy 3 get 1 free, so like unsuspecting customers like don't know that, and so like you're also collecting like all these like extra sets too. I like to think that I'm like a level-headed person, like I can't be conned. Like, I mean, so going into this, I was like, I'm gonna play Color Street. Like, girl, I had my spreadsheet with my expenses and like everything, and I got my little domain, and I just like did everything because I had like stuff I wanted to buy. I think I told you I wanted the new iPhone because like I wanted to have it to be able to take great hair pictures. And then I really enjoy creating content. It's kind of like a mandatory in the hair world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can tell with you, you're really good at it. Like, honey, I've looked through your shit, and you're very creative, and you're very good at what you do. So I can imagine your train of thought being like, oh, I'll just do this with Color Street.
Yeah, and I feel like I wanted to do something different also. Like, I went in like reaching out to like drag queens. Like, I wanted to collaborate with local drag queens, and I collaborated with some of those, and like just do something different because I'm like, not just conservative Christian women wear nail polish. And I kept saying that. Right. I'm like, you guys are missing a huge untapped market. Number one, straight guys who wear polish. Just like all these things I wanted to do. And like, I feel like from the beginning, I was met with like resistance. Number one, because, and these are assumptions. Like, I don't want to be like, they were just so jealous of me. And I like, from day one.
They probably wear those shit.
But I feel like coming in, like, for example, they have like groups on Facebook where you can post like nail fees because people get into it. So you can use them. I can go to the groups and use your shit to promote on my Instagram. It's like a community. And I would like post stuff, and like, first it was like, it would get flagged by the moderators. I misspelled the shade name.
Oh, and then you.
Yes, girl. So then, but they would never contact me. They would contact my upline.
God, that's so annoying.
And then it was like, I had my watermark on the thing. Can't have that. I never just posted anything. My shit always had like a mission. So I did like a trans flag nail for trans awareness. I did for Cinco de Mayo, like I did like one inspired by like the Mexican flag because my ex-boyfriend is Mexican. Just shit like that, like that would tie in with like a cause that like people actually cared about. Not stupid ass Easter bunnies hopping around while you like zoom in and out with the camera.
Right, yeah. No, like
that's
you
like
actually,
not my audience.
You were like legitimately creative with it.
Yes.
What a fucking concept.
So that post, it like got all this like steam. And I feel like that's when the transgender nail that I did, like the flag, it got like all this like weird, like nobody wanted to come out and like be political, but people would like post weird comments and then have their weird little inside jokes in the sub comments. And so it ended up getting deleted. And so out of the group, like the nail group. I mean, like I'm used to that type shit like my whole life. Like reading through my like my enrollers and my messages, and she's like, "Don't worry about the haters." Like I always will respond to like kindness. Like I will always get sucked into that.
Well, unfortunately, in MLMs, they prey on that. They literally use that, like, love bombing and stuff to be like, look at how nice I am, and look at how much I love you, and look at how much, like, support you're gonna have here. And it's, yeah, that's a big thing to recruit people. Or even just to, like, attraction marketing, too, just to sell stuff. But, yeah, MLMs love that shit.
I mean, it's my own fault. I cherry-picked the girl, so, of course, I went with some, like, fake-looking, like, super tan.
You fell for the attraction marketing. No.
There's like pictures of her nails by the pool. She lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Like she's like that girl. And so I'm like, this girl gets it.
Yeah. She knows social media. This bitch knows how to sell.
Yeah, she just was giving me everything I like needed in my life. Like, you're great. You're perfect. You're this, you're that. And I guess that was like, one thing I was not hip to was like love bombing. I feel like love bombing is like such a buzzword right now, but like people don't understand the way that someone who you have created in your mind that you look up to, telling you that you're doing great. And like, this bitch used to say shit to me like, you're amazing. Like, I never could have imagined you would do shit like this well. Like, people are reaching out to me, asking me about you. And like, just the feeling that like how good that felt.
It helps you feel like justified in what you're doing.
I also have a lot of bullshit tolerance though. Like at first I was just like, you're right. Like there's going to be haters, blah, blah, blah. The first kind of like red flag where it snapped me outside of, oh my gosh, I have to say this while we're speaking, because I'm a self-starter. This girl probably saw the freaking gold mine roll up when my DM showed up.
Probably, honestly. And that probably is why she, like, flocked to you with the love bombing so hard, because what she would frame it as is she'd probably be like, I see so much potential in you. And it's more so like, you are giving me money bags. My little pupils in my eyeballs have turned $2 signs looking at you, honey. That's
and I would make mention of that at times. She would never acknowledge it, but like, okay, so I went to look for because in the beginning I was like, hey, do we do like Zoom calls or like do we touch base? And she's like, I don't like to do Zoom calls, blah blah blah. So I went in search of a Zoom call. Like I just wanted to hit the ground running, and so I found other like Zoom calls and stuff, and found your video. Yes. And I sent her the video, the link, like the next day, and I was like, what's this about? Like, is this because I was watching your video and I'm like, girl, can't argue with the facts, baby. And so I'm like, oh girl, I feel tingly but like the girl was hitting different. I will say that immediately that seed was planted, I swear. And plus two, you're like, I've always felt like, I'm like, she's one of us. Like I'm one of her. Like I can relate, you know?
Yeah.
And so like, I sent it to her and she was like, people are always gonna immediately dismissed it, obviously. And I was like, I almost at that point was like, okay, I'm just gonna play color street. Like it was always like a us against corporate like mentality. So when I sent in my mind, like I never was really sucked into the team.
Well, right, because that is one thing that would set you aside, like differentiate yourself from other people in MLMs, because like most people look at their founders and shit and they're all like, oh my God, that's Jesus. That is my Lord and Savior. And for you, you're like, hey, Fa Park, don't care.
You're corny as hell. No,
he is though.
I mean, I guess the best way that I can like describe it is like I went to high school in the suburbs of Colorado. So like I know a fake bitch from a mile away, and these upline girls, even when I would watch these trainings and stuff, and like this is the mark of a fake bitch. Like when she's talking to you is they say, it's like they say right after everything as if like they're assuming you agree. Dude. So like, you know, we're all here today, right?
Yeah.
And we want to like have so much money, right? So and I'm just like, bitch, how do you know I even agree with all this?
And
like,
it's so crazy that you say that, because like in my comment section, so many of the Huns I react to do that. And I get comments about it all the fucking time. Like, I hate a bitch who says right. I hate it when people are just like right after every sentence. And, you know, like I do that sometimes too. But
does that make sense?
Right. I almost just said right.
She reaches out to me. I was hitting goals like they have these like jumpstart goals. First 30 days, sell this. First 60, do this. First 90. And I saw free product credit, free this, free that, free this, free that. So I'm like, it's just like Susie Orman always says, if you ever work for a company and they're going to give you any kind of free money, baby, we need all the free money coming from the company.
Just take it. Take what you can get.
I smashed all the goals. I feel like it was, and they're stupid, like hard to reach goals, like sell $1,000 in 30 days.
Well, so
or 2,000.
That's something I was going to ask you, because I think I remember you telling me that you didn't make it like that high up as far as ranks go. So you weren't like recruiting, you were just selling a shitload.
I did in the beginning, yes. And like, I cringed to think about recruiting because just like, ew, like I don't want to be on my phone all day. I do hair full time and I have an extra side hustle too. And at the time I had a boyfriend. So, and he was like, he had like trust issues. So girl, she could not be on her phone all the time. Okay. Like, no, girl, it would be Fight City.
I don't want to be like, how much did you sell? But like, I'm really honestly curious. Like,
so
were you making your upline a shitload of fucking money?
Yes, I'm not afraid to say it. It wasn't really like a ton. I feel like, but after seeing how much people don't make, I feel like in the first month I sold, it was over $4,000.
In sales or in commission?
Sales, baby.
Okay. What's Color Street commission? Like 25% or something?
So they do this weird jacked up ass thing that makes you do math. It's like, at the time it was like 25. And then if you sell a certain amount of dollar amount, you get an extra 3. And then if it's another thing, you get an extra 6. And the most you can get is 10. So I'm like, I've always been motivated in jobs where I can like make commission if it's tipped, if it's this and that. So girl, I wanted the most commission.
Of course. Yeah. Duh. Of course.
We went straight to the top. And I feel like that's when like people started to get a little pissy.
They're looking at someone like you, not a wasp, if you will. Just
don't like, even wear polish.
Yeah, you don't even wear nail polish. Meanwhile, these girls are all like, just like, have you seen those? I'm sure you've seen them because you were in Color Street, but they were like memes of the way these Color Street huns are always just like, they'll take a picture of like, this is my favorite drink. And then they like put their hands out and like they got the nail polish on and they're purposely like taking pictures of them holding things.
I thought those. Okay, so this is the shit I was on, girl. So I would see those nail fees and shit, and I saw one time.
I love it. That's so funny. Okay, continue.
Yes, girl. Urban Dictionary, take note. I saw the like what would crack me up because obviously you have these novices at home, and they would hold like remotes. Like I one time saw this old ass VCR remote. And a Barbie. And so in my like VIP group, I would host like weirdest nail feed.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, there's straight up like meme pages for it at this point.
People posted them with like subs, like party subs.
Right. Like I have a pulse oximeter right here. Because my husband had COVID like 2 months ago. And so we were just like constantly checking our, I don't know, COVID positive today, babe.
Yes, girl.
Just like, but dumb shit like that. Because it seems like these Color Street babes are always just like looking for any excuse to take a picture of them holding something and then posting it to the social media to sell
There is a woman on there who's, I'm not going to say her like thingy because like, I'm sure she's not a monster, but her thing is literally, her name is literally like trip for my kids to Disney.
Oh, and it's just
a variation of that. Yeah. In a cutesy variation of that. But like, that's her business name, her Instagram, her everything. And it's like, obviously you're exploiting the shit out of your kids all over social media, but then also too, like, how many times are you going to go to Disney?
Yeah, right. If every single month you make enough money to take your kids to Disneyland, are you just going every single month now? Is that what you're doing?
But like, okay, so like to get back on track, I feel like what kind of was the first, like, wait, what is it called? Cognitive dissonance?
Mm-hmm. When you kind of popped out of that cognitive dissonance, you were like, wait a minute, reality
She messages me very shortly thereafter. I feel like, because in Color Street, you only have a certain amount of days. I think it's only 30 days that you have to use the placement tool for like certain directors and up or team leaders and up or whatever it is.
To like place them on your legs and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And so she was like, guess. I get a message and she's like, guess what, babe? And I'm like,
what, babe?
She's like, you have shown me so much in these last few weeks. You have done more than I could have ever imagined. And you're smashing all these goals. You've proven to me that you have what it takes and that you're willing to work hard. So I have some exciting news to share with you that you have been selected to be placed under another team member in our line.
Ooh.
Because you've proven to me that you're so great. And so I immediately was like, I spent all this time finding you specifically because I wanted to work with you specifically. And now I don't even know this broad who still never even to this day messaged me. I'm like, okay, so will she be getting my commission now? Like that I worked my ass off to get? And she was like, it helps the team, which is in sales training, what they tell you to say if people ask if you make commission or how much.
I mean, I think that translates more to, I will make more money if I put you under this person. Basically, she was probably trying to get that person to rank up so then she could make a different promotion.
Girl, I didn't even know. My little brain couldn't even wrap around that at the time.
And it's because they make the compensation plan so fucking confusing, dude. You can't even wrap your brain around the complexity of it.
It's a whole other extra job.
It's
like, looking back, like, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's like the nail strips are a front.
It's not even a conspiracy, baby. Like, that's it. That's 100% it. Like, that is the reality.
I didn't want to, like, openly piss this bitch off, but, like, so I'm being very careful with my words. And so, but she's just, I'm like, okay, well, I trust your judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically being like, that's how I feel. And so I slept on it and I woke up again and I was like, I reached back out. I was like, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but feel like a little turned off by this. Like
I want to work with you. I found you. I reached out to you.
Yeah. Well, I forgot. I left out that evening after she sent me the messages and this and that. And I was still rubbed the wrong way. But she was like, it'll help the team. And I'm like, I trust your judgment. She's like, it won't affect you in any way. Da-da-da. And so when I was like, long as my coins aren't fucked with, I guess, do you, whatever. Like, but I see you over there.
Right.
With misplacement tool.
Uh-huh.
And so that evening, girl, what the fuck do I see? On her fucking story, she's like, congratulations, Janelle has just been promoted to this person.
And that was your new upline?
Well, okay, so she placed me under this girl. So this girl needed the one last person to promote. Well, this girl's also in her period, her very in the beginning period, which pumped her to hit her 90-day goal too, which is also awarded to your upline. If you hit your jump starts, your upline gets the same as that thing.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Color Street has that thing going in there. Yeah.
So she placed me under Homegirl so that Homegirl could level up, hit her jump start, and that she could get, I think it was like $150 to $200 in product credit. And like, my thing is like, girl, if she would have reached out to me and been like, look, in Color Street, like, we have this tool. I only got 30 days to use it, and I can only do it for people who sign up right under me. You're killing it. If I place you under this girl, just know it's going to help her. It's going to help her level up and it's going to help me level up. But just like, no, I got you or something. I don't know.
But like, she phrased it as like, listen, I'm doing this for you because you're so good, because you are such a high performer on my team. You deserve this. And it's like, it wasn't that at all.
And so whenever I reach back out, I'm like, this is weird. I'm sorry, but I just can't help but feel weird. And she was like, sorry, but what do you feel weird about? Most people just tell me thank you. I've never really had anyone question it.
How dare you question the great and powerful Oz.
LOL.
Honey, I'm so confused. Like, what? So what happened?
Well, I just let it go. I let it ride just because I could tell. I'm like, okay, we've we've started to stretch the rubber band boundary. We're going to head back. Yeah. So I just was like, first of all, fuck her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
We're trying to bullshit me. Like, I'm like, okay, girl. So then everything was kind of like surface. And then I get the message from the lady who sent me the screenshot, which like some people watching this may have seen it because I posted it at the time. Because as much as I'd like to say like that, you know, I've been called I call it the 6-letter F word because I really don't even like to put it out into the world, but however people may feel. But I've been called that since I was a little kid. So I like to say like, oh, please, you think it's the first time I've ever been called that? But I did get a message from a lady on Facebook Messenger, and she just messaged me and was like, we just want to let you know that Color Street is not for gay people. And girl, she said, you need to know that your homosexual agenda, like, quit pushing your homosexual agenda.
I know you're a new Color Street stylist, so maybe you didn't realize, but Color Street isn't meant for gay men, and that's why we don't have any gay stylists. I've talked to several stylists, and you need to know that by pushing your homosexual agenda, you're offending people.
What on earth would make you message me with some bullshit like that?
Because it's the truth. That's why you don't see any men in our training videos or virtual meetings. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Thank you for your feedback, Karen. It's people just like you that keep me motivated. Have a great week.
My name isn't Karen.
Oh, trust me, it is.
But like when I first saw that message, when you sent it to me, I remember my jaw hitting the floor, like the fucking audacity that people, like, what clicks in your mind that makes you feel like you need to, and it wasn't even just a little, like, tiny little, like, 2 sentences. It was like a whole paragraph she wrote to you, like, unprovoked. And it's like, what happened?
Some type of way.
Yeah, what happened in your life that made you feel like you needed to write this whole thing and send it to someone you don't know? Why do you have to be like this?
Well, I feel at the time that I was like in all the nail figure. Girl, I like attention. Okay. Like, I'm gay.
And you
girl.
deserve it.
And so I get in all these nail fee groups. I'm like, I'm going to pump out some different content, some great nail fees, a gay pride. Because that's another thing. Color Street would not come out with a gay pride foundation shade, even though they support every mother, woman, and child. And
Dude.
On this side of like it's like foundation shade after foundation shade. They use it very much as a marketing ploy, and then donate like $10,000. Like,
yeah.
So I'm like, every other brand on planet Earth has a pride collection now because they're capitalizing on this, and you don't. Like,
It's like, I guess I'll take it upon myself and just make my own.
Or they would, because there's like an email you can like email like suggestions to and stuff. I was always sending suggestions. I'm like, I'll design it myself.
Right.
Like, here's suggestions. Like, I'm like, you guys are missing a huge market.
And they were.
I'm like, if I'm gonna get these people to listen, it's gonna be about the money of it. You know what I mean? So like,
right.
They never did, and they just would always give me this bullshit about how, like, I will say maybe there's some validity to the fact that like everything is planned out way in advance, but it's just like, then they do finally come out with one, and it's like not the gay rainbow. Because like for me, if you're gonna come out with a pride collection, it needs to be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So they came out with this like weird rainbowy, like blendy like thing, like shade, and called it Throwing Shade.
They called it Throwing Shade?
I'm like, this is gonna be the only like bone we're gonna get thrown over here.
But they called it Throwing Shade, though.
I know, right?
It's almost like a dig at you. It's like, hey, we've got this gay guy in our emails. Let's throw some shade at this gay guy.
And so that was always like their people, like the angry little like Color Street stylists would always be like, they did release a shade, like blah, blah, blah. And so I'm just like, girl, don't come for me. I think it got so bad that someone, like, I guess, sent the screenshot, or because I just posted it in my story, sent it to like corporate, and then when all the like leader minions met for their call, it was like put in their briefing thing, because like my upline and me, we weren't speaking at the time, because I'm like, girl, that'll be enough from you. I'll reach out should I require any fucking assistance.
Right.
And she sent me the screenshot of how it said, like, there was a mention that I posted it. I just was kind of like, and you know, I gotta say, to my enroller's credit, because I don't know if she probably will never see this, because she is in it, girl. She's like, you can't.
I mean, that's like a mindset thing. They're like, we don't listen to the haters. We don't give them any attention. Don't watch that shit. It's all wrong. Yeah. So you're probably right.
Girl, I always wonder, okay, I swear, this is what I've always wondered. I'm sure you wonder it too. Do these high up people, like, what percentage of them are genuinely brainwashed, which is fair, opposed to the ones that are like scared to lose their livelihood, terrified because they have kids? Because that was my enroller's big thing. She kind of opened up just a little bit, because it was a matter of like the stylist that was under me getting like canceled, which I'll get to, I swear, next.
Okay.
And I was like, at some point I was like, girl, please come to me right now with some common sense. Like, I'm 35 years old. Like, I need you to talk to me like I am not some brainless woman in middle America.
Right.
Like, I don't know what you think, but and she finally was like, this is my livelihood and I have a daughter and this is how I support her.
She knows what the fuck she's doing. Well, what I always say is that in order to make it to the top of a multi-level marketing company, you know, top rank, making it your full-on livelihood, that kind of success, you have to either be blissfully unaware of what you're doing and just like kind of in it, brainwashed, go. But what I feel like is more common is that because eventually, like, you gotta come to your senses and know what you're doing, right? So, like, what I think is more common is that people know. I think these people very high up know exactly what the fuck they're doing in that regard. I think they know. And then at that point, it's like, well, this is my life now. So they have to suppress that part of their brain that, like, most people would kind of come to their senses and realize, like, oh, I don't like what I'm doing. This feels icky. I don't like recruiting, you know, and then they quit. Or they just, like, kind of focus on selling and they never do any of that shit and they just kind of lay dormant a little bit. But, like, if you're going to really grind to the top, baby,
you got to play that game,
you
girl.
either have to be playing the game and knowing you're playing the game, or you're so fucking brainwashed that, like, I can't even wrap my head around that. And that's why they stop. They try to keep people from watching this kind of content because they're like, if they even get a whiff of what the truth is, then I'm going to lose my livelihood. It's all a selfish thing on their end. So I truly think, yeah, I think they know what they're doing.
Oh my God. She even sent me after, like, I just was like, I don't know. Like, this is kind of bullshit. And when that lady, like, messaged me, like, with that homophobia shit, I'm like, this is cute and everything. Cause I always felt like I was playing, like, a game. Like, you have to girl, their energy and just even how they communicate over messaging, it's just will emotionally wear you out. Like, and then it's like, and then girl, I was danced as a little kid. So girl, all the little acknowledgements, I was like, yes, girl, send me those rewards.
Yeah,
send
exactly.
me your shitty achievement jewelry. Give me all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And so she just was always like pumping me up, like, great job. And then like posting on her story, look what he did, look what he did, look what he did. So I think that's what initially like perked all these hater ass bitches up. That and then also jealous. Too, like, yeah. And then posting in like the nail fee like groups and shit. Cause like I was like my pictures were perfect. Like everything was perfect. I bought backdrops, like the whole 9 yards. Like, and so I never wanted to recruit anyone. She tried to get me to sign up my boyfriend and his mother. And I was like, but I did approach them and I was like, you know, what would you think? This and that. And like, but they wouldn't have been a good fit. Because I told her right out the beginning, I will not buy money to hit goal. I will not buy product to hit goals because I do not wear this shit. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think in the very beginning, my mom used to do that. Girl, we in our closet. You open up this closet, baby. She had all the Mary Kay, not this one, but she had all the Mary Kay.
I bet.
Everything of, and I just was like,
That's a very common trait of people who are in multi-level marketing companies. Yeah. It's called inventory loading.
I mean, I still ended up with a ton of it because you just get all this free shit. But like, I think she knew from the beginning, like, how to approach me. And so she like never came in. She was like, well, you could, or some people do, or because I think there was a month I was like $21 away from hitting, and I would have got a couple extra $100. Like, I'm not doing it. Like,
right. You're like, what am I don't even wear this shit. What am I going to do with it?
I know me, and I know I'll get sucked into that.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was like, I'm not going to do it. So she never really like tried to come in. I'm sure she came at other people a little bit more like, you should like buy inventory, do this and that. But we weren't speaking because of that whole, like, she finally said something to me, like, whenever about that whole, like, moving the girl under me thing. And then she was like, I just feel like you're being negative and not having fun selling the nail strips like you have been.
What?
And I was like,
you were clearly having more fun than fucking anybody. Like,
don't talk to me about being negative. And I've learned in therapy that when someone does question my integrity, because I've worked so hard to like stay sober, like give a shit about people, like I take major offense to a comment like that. And so oddly enough, that comment from her was really what pissed me off. Like, bitch, I'm being negative. I just was slowly drifting more and more like away from her. And she sends me this basket of like cookies, like this whole thing. And she's just like, I just don't want you to be mad. She freaked out, girl. I think she thought that I was like, you know, this is kind of bullshit. I was like, people messaging me with shit. And like, you know, at this point I had been reaching out, like suggesting shade colors, suggesting that the incentives are not like jewelry and like women's shit. I'm like, offer an option, offer a nice pin.
Yeah.
I sent emails to corporate like about like offering just options to like acknowledge like gender, because like I think these women were used to like signing up their husbands, because they love to say that, oh, my husband's like sells under me and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean, bitch?
Yeah, who does he sell to? His mistress? Like,
at the office, he takes a catalog to work. Like, sit your ass down. So to see me come in, a guy, girl, they were shook. I know they were so mad. And I did have some very supportive women. Well, girl, I didn't go in there to make friends. I'm like, you could never, I don't just allow people to be my friend like that. You know what I mean? You want to make sure your like values and shit align. Like, if I'm going to call you my fucking friend,
put your guard up.
So,
yeah.
So, and you know, like we hear a lot that when people leave, like people like block them and stuff. Girl, I haven't even checked. If anything, they're making sure they don't block me so they can see the shit I post. And I freely welcome it. I already got the letter from Collar Street to take that reel down, and she's up.
Dear Mr. Pugh, it has come to our attention that you are using Color Street intellectual property in connection with an Instagram account named Chic Nails. Color Street is the registered owner of intellectual property pertaining to Color Street, including but not limited to Color Street's copyrights and trademarks. Any unauthorized usage of Color Street's copyrights and/or trademarks is an infringement on Color Street's intellectual property rights. The infringement of intellectual property rights denotes unauthorized use, sale or the making of any product or material that is categorized as intellectual property. This means that Color Street has an exclusive right over our IP and are afforded protection under federal law. As such, the video you have posted on your Instagram account /Chic Nails contains Color Street intellectual property, and it is infringing upon our intellectual property rights. No one is permitted to create products, including videos, using Color Street trademarks, copyright, or any other intellectual property. While you are entitled to your own opinion, we kindly ask that you immediately cease and desist from all production, copying, use, sale, and/or advertisement of products and/or services incorporating Color Street's intellectual property, and remove the video from circulation. We request a good faith response to this letter as soon as possible, but in no event later than the close of business on Monday, April 1, 2022. If by such time we have not received a response from you, we expressly reserve the right to pursue any and all available legal and equitable remedies. Sincerely, Andrea M. Weiland, Senior Director of Compliance. Hello Jeremy. Thank you for your response and agreement to remove the video from your Instagram account. It has been noted that video has not been removed in accordance with my letter. Please have it done ASAP. Sincerely, Andrea.
Hi Andrea. Thank you for following up on this pressing issue of my Instagram reel. I'm sure you meant to get to this sooner. Because your company is so shady, I asked one of my clients who is a lawyer about this, and she shed some interesting light on things for me. Apparently, because the clips I used in my beautifully curated reel were taken from a video Color Street has made public on YouTube, and because my use of your logo was for informational or editorial purposes to identify specific products and services and as part of an accurate comparative product statement, I'm legally protected under the Fair Use Act. Which I didn't even know! I'm sure you knew this though, especially given that you're in compliance. So what I'm wondering is, why are you misrepresenting the law in an effort to intimidate me into taking down an Instagram reel? At this point, your foolishness has wasted quite a bit of my time, and it would be disrespectful to my clients who pay for my attention. So if you'd like to set up a consulting call, I'd be happy to send you my fee schedule. Cheers. Jeremy.
You will have to pay for your attorney to write an actual cease and desist if you're trying to get me to bust a move.
And I've recently like tried to look into the whole cease and desist thing, and like it's expensive. So I'm like, not worth it.
What really for me was like where I wanted to like turn anti-Color Street. I never wanted to be like a team leader and all that bullshit. But people would see, because like nobody was really posting fun reels like me, like, and so people would see it and be like, I wish I would have signed up under you, or I want to sign up under you. Savannah, I cannot tell you how many people that I told, like, girl, it looks fun. It's so much fucking work. Like, if you don't, it's not.
So you're one of the honest ones.
And also, I didn't want to manage these people because, like, if I'm not going to say, they're so, girl, when they tell you, like everything you need for success, No, girl. If you want to be like one of these like girls you see on Instagram with 50,000 followers, she has her URL, www.thisbitch.com.
Yeah.
Like, she has her professional like shit. Like she has her like everything going on. She works her ass off. And a lot of things that people don't know about MLMs is that those higher up bitches, and not even like super higher up, but just even medium level, they have assistants.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of them do.
Okay. Like they don't do any of that shit at all.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
I was like, Jesus Christ, bro. But people were clamoring. So because I collaborated with a lot of local drag queens, and they would post, I would send them free Color Street. They would post, like, they were happy, they were excited, and a lot of them already knew about it. So this transgender woman reached out to me and she was like, you look like you're having so much fun. Like, I love nails. Like, this just seems like something so up my alley. And like, I know so many trans women, you know, because a lot of trans women, when they're transitioning, it's not like they're just handed a manual. Like, here's how to be a woman.
Right. Yeah.
Here's how to apply makeup. Here's how to walk like a woman, talk like a woman. So it's like there's a huge community of these women everywhere. I have found.
Yeah.
I'm not the authority on trans women, but anyway, so she had a huge network in the trans community. And another thing that trans women can appreciate is that it costs to look pretty. I talked to this girl. I was very upfront. I was like, look, girl, this is the tea. I know it looks a certain type of way on social media, just like anything on social media. Even my personal page, it's like, this is one piece of my life. That's it. Like, yeah. And so you don't see the fights me and my boyfriend are having because I'm doing Color Street too much. Like the many, many fights that we had where like, he's like, you just care too much about Color Street. And like,
wow.
I mean,
how many hours were you working Color Street, like weekly? Ballpark it.
I mean, I really want to say minimum 20. And that's in addition
to working full time, I'd assume?
I would say for sure 20, because what you have to remember is that while I'm working a full day in the salon on my feet and going live because there's a new launch, and like you have to like be super excited in this and that. And my boyfriend's like sitting over there, not interested.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I didn't give a fuck, girl. I was like, and I'm sorry if he won't ever see this either, probably, but I'm like, girl, I got bills, dreams, aspirations, and a 401k I need to work on. So, but it's like so much fucking work because then you have to like get the messages from everyone, ship the shit.
Those were like the bulk orders you were talking about, right? You had to end up shipping them to other people, right?
No, I never did a bulk order because I'm like, this sounds scammy, darling.
Yeah.
People can order their own shit.
Yeah.
That was like part of it, what appealed to me. Like, I don't have to have inventory. They can order their own shit. It's easy to like, it's easy. It's a one product thing. I never wanted to do the bulk orders, but people like to see. I'm the same way. I don't like to order. I will never order a jean online that I don't know the brand. Like, people like to see and hold shit. And so, especially old school people, you know? And so I just would have so many sales. And let's be honest, this is what was selling it. You know what I mean?
You weren't even wearing it. It was just like your personality people wanted to buy
from you.
So
I would just hop on live and like do crazy stories and talk shit, and like the orders would come in. I would get so many orders that way, but then it's like you have to buy all these stupid ass bubble mailers and do all that. And it's like,
so you kind of did hold an inventory then. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. So, okay. In Color Street, I don't know how it is still, but I think you can, they're perfectly fine with you hosting a party, under yourself. They're totally okay with it. It's not like a cheat. And then you can host the party under yourself, send people the link, people can order under you, and then you're the hostess that gets the hostess credits.
Oh.
So, and then, you know, just being a material girl, like there could be cute ones that would come out and I would be like, I would buy them up. I'm like, something else to buy.
Yeah.
So like, I just would buy, I would buy shit sometimes too. Like, I can have some coin for some of it, but not really. Just if I like wanted something, girl, they love to keep you hooked in. And that's another thing that I noticed after. The stylists are the fucking customers. Like, why are we buying this shit a mere 5 days early?
Right. Yeah.
Like, or to go to their whack ass conference, they'll come out with, because I feel like a lot of these women are collectors.
Yeah.
So it's like full blown like Thai Beanie Baby. Well, there was this gay dude, I'm not going to say his name, but he's a baby doll. And he saw, after that homophobic ass lady sent me the thing, he reached out and he was like, I'm gay too. I sell Color Street too. I just want you to know you're like not alone, and like, fuck that bitch.
Wow.
And so he sent me some like, he was like, because this all happened like in the quickly.
Wow.
And so he was like, you're just getting started. I'm sending you some stuff. one of the strips that he sent me, I like just went on to like look at the values, duh, girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we got some retired
Hey.
Turn that shit down. I sold one of them on Mercari for $300 fucking dollars. Yes, girl.
For Color Street.
Yes, girl.
One set.
It was like the snake skin one. Yes. And I'm like, bitch, at this point, isn't this expired though? Like,
what the fuck?
Like, there are some that go on Mercari, $1,000. One of the sets. Yes.
That's fucking shocking to me. What the fuck?
I swear you can go look right now.
I believe you.
You can go and look and see ones that have already been sold.
Like, I unfortunately believe you because I feel like Color Street is not an MLM that would strike me as, like, people are like that. LuLaRoe, yeah, you hear that shit in LuLaRoe all the time. They have, like, the unicorn leggings. They're looking...
That's what they call them, the unicorn sets.
Oh, my God.
And that's also how they get you to go to these conferences, because they make conference exclusive sets.
Oh my God. I didn't know any of this about Color Street. Oh my God.
Yeah. They make conference exclusive sets. So of course they had a virtual, I know this is like a thing, like an issue right now, but they did offer a virtual option for their conference.
Better than what certain MLMs did.
Girl, I would just turn right around. Oh my gosh. So I think it cost $100. No. It was like $70 for
a ticket
virtual version.
Oh, for the
and
virtual.
then you get this.
Jeez.
Yeah, you get a gift thing with like a conference exclusive set. You get some advanced sets from the next collection. And then this cheap ass water bottle and this cheap ass bag. I paid $70 for that thing.
Jeez.
It was literally like a cheap nail file, like a journal, and then like just some stupid shit. And like I sold it for like $200 on Mercari.
Wow. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that kind of stuff I could see, like an exclusive water bottle, because like that's something you can reuse and stuff, but it's like nail polish strips.
But just to kind of show, like, people lose their shit over this shit, and I really do feel like that ties into like them knowing that, because like I always wonder, I don't know what the very first MLM was, but like at what point do you think it was designed to be this fucking interwovenly like fucked up? Or did it start out as kind of like a good thing and then morph into a fucked up thing, and then now they just won't acknowledge that it's fucked up?
That's a really good question. What was the first MLM? Oh God, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was a long time ago, like decades ago, maybe even coming up on a century ago. Like, I don't even fucking know.
When you think about stuff like retiring your husband and just how shady it is that they do that so that you're completely dependent on the company, or
that's definitely not what it all started out like. Because when MLMs, well, whenever the first MLM was, I don't remember. That's something I really should know. I mean, it was definitely at a time when women weren't traditionally in the workplace, you know? So it wasn't an expectation that women would retire their husbands. I think what really made it super predatory and gross the way it is now is Amway. Because back in the 70s, Amway basically rewrote all the rules to how multi-level marketing can be run in this country with, you know, all this lobbying and shit. Like, Amway really paved the way for MLMs to be what they are today. Before Amway, I couldn't tell you what the intentions were. But pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes existed before MLMs. So, and those obviously from the get-go were started for scammy reasons and, you know, stealing money from people. So I'd have to really look into that. I feel
like what it is for me that just has, because I'm a common sense type person, and I'm like, if something's bullshit, it's bullshit. Like, and I'm cool with that because I'm a bullshitter, but like, you know, and so when I look at it and you just look at how every little aspect of an MLM, for example, the reason why I stayed months and months after, I had signed up my mom under me. So if I get out, my mother goes to this woman I hate. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to say hate, but it's like,
but someone you don't want to work under, so why would you make your mom do it? Like,
my mother.
Yeah.
Like, who I actually care about.
Yeah.
So like, And then my mom, like, I lightly like broached it, and I'm like, psych. I'm like, I just don't know, because she'd be like, so, like, my mom was like so into it. Of course, she signed up because she saw like success that was happening. And she's like,
Right.
so what's been going on with Color Street? This and that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because my mom was out there doing full blown vendor events, girl. Like, if you watch all their stupid training videos, you get all this like free like equipment, and you can get free credits and stuff. So what did I do? I bought all of my vendor event stuff, got it all for free.
Wow, that's cool that they do that. At least, like, if they're gonna make you feel like you need to.
Used to do that.
Of course, they don't do it anymore. One of the arguments is like, well, in an MLM, you have to invest all your own money for stuff like that. Like, if you're gonna go to vendor events, and if you're gonna, you know, throw at home parties and stuff, it's like, at the very least, like, a normal job would pay for that kind of stuff. So why wouldn't an MLM? Oh, that's because it's not a real job. So.
Well, in all fairness, it's like, this was in downtown Denver, so you can only imagine how much it costs to do a vendor event there. And then you can't just do one; you have to sign the contract to do multiple events that summer. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you have to like buy the tent, so like the marketing stuff and like the banners and stuff that would have been really expensive. Like, I got it for free, but my mom was out in the field doing vendor events. So like, I'm not gonna give my mom up to this woman who sucks and is full of shit, who had already friended my mom on Facebook at this point. They were friends. Like,
ew, that's
my
so
mom
weird.
my mom was like, yeah, I got a like friend request from this girl. And I'm like,
that's our upline mom.
but my mom was hip. She loves a vendor event. So anyways, so that's like the shit though, is when I stand back and look and I'm like, wow, every little kind of like nook and cranny about MLM is designed to really get their claw on you, which is really kind of like what I didn't like.
I mean, I think it's always been that way in a way, but definitely since social media has been a thing, I think it only got worse.
To circle back, I had this transgender woman had actually been on me for a couple weeks, and I just was like, girl, this is the tea. This is how much it cost. You will not make as much money as me. So she was okay with it. I made sure that she was like, and I'm like, I'm willing to work with you because I like you. And you're my speed too. Because if anybody ever knew me on there and sees that, like, I was like very different. Like, I will cuss. I'm not going to bring up any sort of religion. Like, I'm not here for that. And I'm not going to I'm just not here for the regular Color Street vibe. Like, I'm gay as hell. And like, I like to do hair. And I like to be crazy on the internet. So was this girl though, like, you know, and so like, she got me, she realized that like, she was about to have like, a lot of her customers were probably like escorts, like strippers, like girls who will spend money on beauty. We just did crazy stuff. Like, I remember bringing Color Street to the strip. Only glitter strips. Glitters, that's it.
I love it.
We brought glitters and we're selling them at the strip club. I swear to God.
That's so funny.
So,
I love that.
So when you sign up for Color Street, you fill out the first portion yourself. So you can fill out your own name. You can fill out your own whatever. Then, of course, you do your social security number, which I never liked that. Like,
some of them make you put that shit in before you can even like look at the starter kits and stuff, before you even know how much it costs to like sign up.
I don't like that either. I do not like how they only show you the terms and conditions in the beginning. It ain't till you sign up and you find out all this extra ass shit. Like, that's another thing. And that kind of like ties into what I'm saying, about to say. Like, first of all, I'm not gonna be like, nobody reads that. That's on you. That was on me to read it. Period. 100%.
Yeah.
However, they don't give you everything.
Yeah, because then you get into the back office and then you see all the policies and procedures and then you see all their back office shit. And
the pages of it.
They're super not transparent. Every MLM company is like that.
They need to start telling people about paying fucking taxes. That is one thing that hello, last month thought I was real cute out here on Instagram selling nail strips like I'm a boss ass bitch. And then I owe thousands of dollars.
Sorry, I'm like having an allergy attack.
Bless you.
Well, the cat that was just on my lap, like I have 3 cats, but that one I'm allergic to. So every time she's anywhere near me, like I love her so much, she's my baby, but I die. Every time she's around me now, I'm just like, But so I want to know what made you finally like throw in the towel with Color Street? Like what made you be like, I need to fucking stop.
That transgender stylist. So whenever you sign up, you can put your own name, her name. I want to know, I really feel like I'm trying to think of a similar name I can say. It's like one of those things where like the name, her birth name might have been Tom,
Oh.
And she elected to make it Tommy, like Tommie.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was the situation. And so she obviously signed up with her. Well, I don't want to say anything wrong.
She didn't use her dead name.
Is that what they say? I should be a more woke gay, but I'm not.
I hear them always calling it a dead name. So if it's not, you know, if you've transitioned, then your old name is not your name anymore. It's your dead name.
Which, and like in the state of Colorado, I think it's relatively, I don't want to say for sure, but I know I do have trans friends in Colorado that get their gender changed on their ID, their name. So it's like not a problem like here to do it. So like, whatever. She did not live in Colorado, sidebar.
Oh, okay.
So she signed up obviously under her name she likes to be called, and then you have to submit your social. So then obviously I wake up, no, I get a phone call from compliance, and there's this guy in compliance, and he's like the guy in compliance you always hear from, but he only ever like emails or shit like that. He called me on the phone.
Whoa. He
asked about the stylist, and he was like, what's up with this? I'll just keep saying Tommy. He was like, what's up with Tommy? We're noticing that there's like a different name connected with the social security number, da da da. And I was like, she's transgender. And he goes, oh, okay. He goes, so they're the same person.
I can understand that confusion, like at first,
yeah.
if that's your job and you're like, oh, these two things don't add up, let me like double check. But like, that's not where they left it.
He was like, I'll let them know and get back to you. And I was like, all right. So my enroller, girl, this is how insane. I wake up to a text message from her. It must have been 5:45 in the morning. And she was like, hey, oh my gosh, what happened to Tommy? Oh my gosh. And I'm like, girl, like, I'm getting ready for work, bitch. So I like go on there, and she just was wiped off on my thing. And this was a feud I remember because, girl, at this point, stakes were high.
Yeah.
Because Miss Tommy had sold about $3,000 that month.
Wow.
Yes, honey, hit all her junk for too, though.
Yeah.
So I was like, yes, like I was set to get a lot of money
and
a lot of free nail strips and a lot of free like extra incentives
with that team matching bonus or whatever. Is that what they call it? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All kinds of crazy ass extra percentages ass. Like, girl, she had her reservation at Morton's wiped off.
Just like you go to your back office and she's not on your team anymore.
Bye, see ya, get out, leave.
Wow.
Like, and then of course this woman and her particular, she wasn't as technologically advanced, which kind of like bugged my upline because she always wanted to like get her into all these like weird ass groups, but like because she wanted to fucking friend request her and like,
of course.
So she didn't. So I think that was like another thing maybe that like bothered Color Street is that like there was no like Facebook to prove or like there was no like, or and honestly there was, but I told her, I'm like, do not friend request any of these evil witches. One of them already messaged me with their bullshit. Yeah. And you know, I would die if I brought you into this community and I'm like going to tear up, and these women were despicable like they've been to me. Yeah. And so I would not allow her to get into any of these groups and none of that shit. Right. And so she was selling shit like hand to hand, like I said, in the strip, like to her stripper friends, like they're a very like cash. I got the cash, give me the product. So she had been hustling. I don't want to be like out in these streets, but like for lack of a better term. Yeah. And so how the fuck am I going to tell this lady she's out of her extra hundreds of dollars?
They just straight up didn't give any of it to her?
Nope, none. I swear to God, I woke up to a message from my upline. And so I eventually message her, my upline, and I'm like, okay, so we can cut this shit out. Am I getting my commit? Like, what's the deal with the money?
Right, yeah.
Because the first thing I think of, like, obviously they deleted this bitch because they found a little loophole. Now they don't got to pay her or me or anybody else for that matter. And now they get to keep $3,000 something, 100% of it.
Yeah. She did all that motherfucking work and they're not going to give her any compensation for it.
Not a dime, girl.
And they used that social security issue as an excuse.
Well, I couldn't even confirm that because they to this day won't respond to me about it. Like I've asked repeatedly because I'm not a dumb bitch. Like I can craft a beautifully written email and I've sent many to them. And the only time I ever get a response is when they feel like I fucked up. So
when they can scold you like a little baby.
Yeah. And I feel like I was just messaging like another stylist because like since they've changed their compensation plan recently, so stylists don't get as much. The nail strips cost more. I'm like, you're supposed to do one or the other.
Yeah.
Like to cut costs.
Yeah. I saw they added a bunch of new ranks too. So like someone was probably like senior executive director and then they got like bumped down because now they don't qualify for it anymore.
Yeah, like Freaky Fresh Spa Park sent out a letter at the beginning of the year and I was gonna send it to you, but I'm like, she'll be bored to tears. But it was just like, we are giving another one of my pet peeves, girl. When companies, and I see it a lot in MLMs, use the word incentivize after they tell you the new bullshit they're handed down. So what we're doing is they're telling you that you're making less commission, but how they're going to tell you is,
yeah,
what we're actually doing is we're adding in more ranks and giving you more ways to be incentivized to grow your team.
So it means like work harder for the same exact amount of money you were getting before.
Less, really?
Less, yeah.
So they added in, and it even said in his letter that they added in those ranks because it was really, really hard to get from the next to the next. So it's to keep people thinking that they're doing something.
Mm-hmm. It feels like you're still making steps and progressing through the ranks when you're really just still a pawn.
So I finally reached out to my plan and I just was like, girl, we're going to have to talk money, dollars and cents, bitch, because I felt a responsibility to this woman. And I also felt I took time out of my life because if an MLM tells you that like they're getting you all the tools you need, these women have never made an Instagram reel a day in their lives. Like I would put Instagram reel tutorials out in our groups. Like I would help other sideline team bitches. Like most of these women do not have social media experience.
Right. Well, because they're older too. Like most of them are older.
Yes. Like, these women don't know how to stay organized with their finances. It's like they don't really know it all. They don't know, like if you've never taken a business course or a marketing course, like there's rules to this shit.
Right, yeah.
And so like I spent time building this woman and I'm like, I want my motherfucking money. And so
you deserve that. They fucked you both over.
I just was like, so does this mean we're not getting our commission? And she just was playing down. I'm like, I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to ask so-and-so. And I was like, are we getting our commission?
It's like, so no, then your answer to me is no.
I was like, in this moment, girl, is the time to shoot straight with me because I'm on it. And she just was like, I don't think so. Like, I finally got her to admit it? Because like I knew it.
Yeah.
If they delete this girl and there's no money, there's no numbers on the table. Right. There's no to trickle down to me.
Exactly.
So finally she was like, I was like, don't you think that's a little unfair? And she was like, I don't know. It's just unfortunate for everybody. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, no. I spent time out of my life that I do not, and anybody that knows me knows, like, when I have a spare moment, like, my spare time is fucking precious. And I spent it out of my life messaging back and forth for hours building this woman, and you guys are going to give me a damn dollar, and then you delete her off my thing and don't give me rhyme or reason. And the only thing it's looking like right now is because she's transgender. Because I clearly explained to you why.
Yeah. And they didn't ever reach out to her either. She has no idea, never. No explanation, just dropped one day, bye. We're
never
keeping your
got
commissions.
An explanation. And then, because like after the fact, it was like, she was hurt, dude. And like, as a transgender woman, like, and having friends that are transgender, like, they can't help but feel like that's always their experience. What the fuck is she supposed to think?
But especially because, like, you, even speaking from experience, you've experienced some kind of, what do you call it? Oh my God. I'm like, what is the word? Discrimination.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that word. You experienced that.
That still boggled my mind. I'm like, it never kills me that people are racist or people are homophobic. It kills me that you have the balls in this day and age to like reach out when people can do screenshots and take video.
Like, and to just be like openly like that. Like, just like, no issue. I'm just going to go be homophobic today. Like, what the fuck ever.
That became like our big thing. Like, cause then we're like, okay, well, legally, we start looking into legally because I'm a hairstylist, baby. I know realtors, lawyers. We know all kinds. We network, and I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. Like, this is fucked up. But then you realize You have no rights. Like, they have the money and it is at their will how much they want to give to you, when they want to give it to you, if you get it, what you got to do to get it. Like, it's 1,000% up to them. They terminated her without cause because that's what they can.
That's what I was just about to say. It's probably in the contract you sign when you sign up with them that they can terminate you for any reason. They can withhold funds and all that stuff. Most MLMs have some kind of clause like that. I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about, but a lot of people don't need to think about it because they don't have something that is like that they could be discriminated against. So it's like,
that's what it was for me. I was like, in my mind, you are trans fucking phobic and you're skewing a little homophobic.
A little.
Yeah. And now you're telling me that I just, principally speaking, I can sit here and spend my time and effort and invest money or just do whatever into building something for myself that can be taken away at someone else's whim at the snap of a finger. I have too much anxiety for that. So I was like, that was it. I was like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you were working on me and on the sides. You didn't even know. I was just like, the more like tactics that if you're the type of person, because like at my core, I just want to be friends with people and I want people to be nice to me. Like, that's all I want. Just be nice to me and respect me. And like, I will fucking do anything for you in this world.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's it's very like MLM centric for them to like have those types of people coming in because they're just like the perfect little people to like pick and like fuck up. So I didn't realize all of this shit until I started to there were names to these tactics. And just to even stop, girl, I had to stop. I thought I was woke and I had to stop and look myself in the mirror and be like, bitch, you are trapped in an MLM.
You're trapped in a cult. You're trapped in a nail polish cult.
I will say, I really do have to say, I don't want it to be like a one-sided thing or not give the full story or whatever. Like, there were a lot of women since I have been outspoken about it that have reached out, girl, with like, that's the thing about Color Street. When I would go through, because I would check faithfully for anybody that posted anything new with Color Street because they just haven't had a lot of scandal. Like, they haven't had a lot of upper level people. They're newer, so they haven't had time to show their ass.
This is definitely the first like scandalous thing I've ever heard about Color Street. They generally do lay pretty low. Like, yeah, I did a deep dive on it, but I haven't watched it in a long time, but thinking back, I'm like, I think it was literally just a deep dive. Here's the history. Let's go over the compensation plan. Here's a few clips of some distributors, blah, 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 blah. But none of it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Oh my God, there's this lawsuit. Oh my God.
Because when I did post that story of that woman reaching out and saying like, because the woman in the screenshot that said that quit pushing
your gay agenda.
She was like, I'm a stylist and other stylists feel the same way. And she was like, that's why we don't have any men in our training videos. That's why we don't have any. She mentioned that not having any, that all of the incentives are like cis women, right. ID, blah, 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 what they think they want and whatever. And when I posted it, I got an output because it's not, believe it or not, it's not cool to be a homophobe now. And so the people were reaching out like, what the fuck? Yeah. People were like, can you post that up again? Because a lot of people want to see that. And I didn't want to like post that energy on my feed. But so I did it in my story again. And that girl, my upline, reached out and she goes, I don't know. I talked to my upline, like so-and-so. And what are you hoping to like accomplish by like having this negativity up about the company? And I was like, this has nothing to do with Color Street, bitch. She made it about Color Street. Yeah. Like, I was just sitting on my ass eating my cinnamon toast crunch. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about on my story?
That's
so yeah. They don't want that out there. It just seems like. And then even whenever I like, because it's in their terms, like you can't talk about another stylist or the company negatively. So it's like what I really wanted to do was go on my fucking story in between while my clients' highlights were processing and be like, Color Street is homophobic and trans fucking phobic as fuck. And here's why. And here are the receipts. And you come up with your own things. What? So I can get deleted. And so my mom now goes to this woman, which is always in the back of my mind because
you care about your mom,
like,
go figure.
Yeah. And then she didn't want to go to this woman.
Right, yeah.
Because I talked to her about it. And so it's just like, the woman who birthed me, I like owe her that.
Yeah, like at the very least, I guess I should like look out for her best interests.
I just wonder, girl, because it looks like a lot of people are leaving. You always hear about these mass exoduses. I'm hearing from all these freaking people like that are ready to leave and they're scared to talk. And that's so weird because that's never been my life.
Dude, right. Dude, I mean, shit, like
never in my life.
I think my biggest goal with like having conversations like this is to help people not feel so alone so that they can tell their story and they can come out and be like, hey, I was fucking wronged by this company, by this person, by this upline. That's the problem.
I don't know if you remember, but I did reach out to you like a while back and I was like, girl, I want to talk. If you scroll up in our DMs to the very first, scroll up to our very first
right now.
And I think you said something like, I'm on vacation, like hit me back. And I was too scared because I know.
I found out who you were because you tagged me in a reel when you quit Color Street. And I was like, oh, this guy's so cute. Oh,
I found it. Hi, Savannah. I'm a Color Street stylist who has gone sour with the company because of their bullshit.
Ooh.
I was wondering if you'd ever spoken with a higher ranking stylist or plan to. I know I've dealt with some homophobic bullshit from the company in addition to their usual bullshit. And I was just curious if you had any further insight. Thank you and have an amazing day.
Ooh, yeah. I just found it too back in July.
I know. That's when I was like,
you weren't sure what you were doing.
Girl, what does that tell you? That for half a year, that's over half a year that I stayed. Like it just, and didn't sell not one nail screw. And
then even then I was like, this is so strange to hear coming from an MLM that sells nail strips. What the fuck? And I still fucking feel that way. Like it's so weird.
You were like, reach back out. And I was like, yeah, it's scary because like there were some MLMers, anti-mlm movement content creators that wouldn't even speak to me if I was still at the company.
See, that's fucking stupid.
They were like, nope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I understand the hesitancy, but, like, for you, like, you can definitely, like, you have a presence about yourself on social media that's like, okay, this motherfucker's genuine as shit. Like, he's not gonna be an asshole. But some people are. Some people, like, give you that vibe, and it's just like, eh. But, like, if you were to slide into an anti-MLMer's DMs while you were still in Color Street and be like, hey, I don't know what to do, I want to talk about this, it's like, I don't understand why anyone would look at what you post and be like, oh.
I wonder if I left anything out for you, but girl, they don't want, it's just like, I guess I just kind of felt that I would be accepted with open arms by these women, which has always been my crowd. I've always only had girlfriends. Like, I don't really even have that many gay friends, to be honest with you, with the exception of a few. And so they were just oddly threatened. It felt like they were not excited about me being there for the most part. And like, they just wanted to do everything to make sure, like, they do this thing they call a mega party. And like, if I had a whole team of like 1,000 people, I would host the party. I would go and buy like a Dyson blow dryer and a Gucci handbag and all this crazy shit, make all the thousands of people on my team pay me $25. And then you're allowed to bring you're allowed to bring this many people into the party to be entered in to win all these prizes I'm providing.
Yeah.
And it's like a big thing, which really what the fuck it does is make her go up. But like, looking back.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do stuff like that in other MLMs too. Like, they'll do like, oh, we're giving away $10,000 cash, but it's like a team of like 20,000 people and everyone's donating $5. There's one winner. It's
like the thing that really kind of also pissed me off too, that kind of like opened my eyes, was this girl, that was running the party was like one of the higher ups on our team. And it started, one of the posts was like, hi ladies, like shout out your stylist. I know you're obviously one of her VIPs or you wouldn't be here and blah, blah, blah. Like tell her what a boss babe she is and da, da, da. And so I messaged the woman who I knew she was like a Ruby national cocksucker, but like, I didn't know that, like, I didn't care. I'm like, oh great. Like, the biggest thing you ever did in your life. So like, I was like, hi, just want to touch base, let you know there are male stylists in the group. So I just want to let you know, because like my clients ride hard. So they immediately were like messaging me, like, tell them that like, it's not, they were commenting like, my stylist is male and he's you know what I mean? Like they like were riding. And so she wrote back and she's like, so sorry, I normally have assistants do this. I'll try to let her know. And so like, I always
just edit the post, bitch. Like, it's not that fucking hard.
Yeah. I always wondered, because I kept bringing it up because I'm like, I know gender is a thing right now, and I'm like, okay, they're not being hateful, but for some reason, being in that group to like not have my gender acknowledged or have it intentionally unacknowledged, like hit different for the first time for me. And so I just felt strongly about it, and I just didn't know why, but I was like, acknowledge me, bitch.
Right.
Like, and so again, the posts kept coming in this group that I paid to be in, and they kept coming and coming and coming, and like, or it'd be like, hi ladies, da da da, like blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I took such an issue with it, and I like wrote her a thing back, and I'm like, hey, this is still a problem. And she wrote me, she refunded my money, kicked all of my people out, my clients out of the group, my customers, and wrote me a thing back and said that this is something that she doesn't have to do, and that she's doing it to build our business
out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah, out of the kindness of her heart, she does it. She doesn't have to do it. And then that she kicked me out, refunded my PayPal money, and sent me on my merry motherfucking way. So I sent her a nice little video, and I said, if you're in the business of working with people and building relationships, you should give a shit if somebody's male or female, and acknowledging them from who they are on this earth.
Right. And that's what they love to do. They're like, oh, it's all about making relationships with your customers. It's like forming these bonds. And it's like, but they don't even want to acknowledge that, I don't know, maybe not everyone who sells Color Street is going to be female.
I sent her a video, and I'm like, if you're really a Ruby national executive leader, like, you should hold yourself to an even higher standard.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can keep your whack ass little $25, ma'am.
That's wild.
And your Dyson blow dryer, and go fuck yourself. And it just I got kicked out of my team group.
Oh my God.
And my upline messaged me, and she was like, hey, what happened with so-and-so? Because, of course, nobody would ever message me. They would always message her to tell on me. And so I'm like,
because no one, yeah, exactly. No one even wanted to, like, approach you.
No.
Like, oh, the scary gay man over there. We don't want
the monster.
If I talk to him, I'm gonna get the gay. Oh.
She was always having to like tell me like, oh, you need to change this. Oh, you can't if you're going to use the Color Street name, you have to use the Color Street font available in the back office. Oh, you can't say this. Oh, you can't do that. Can't do this. Can't do that. I'm like, guess what? Fop Park does not have the login for this Instagram, baby.
I hate to like hear that someone so like genuine like you has just been thrown through the fucking ringer like this. Like, it pisses me off. But then at the same time, it's just like, yep, seems about right for an MLM. Yep, they all suck.
There's like this support group on Facebook that I ended up finding near the end called the Color Street like male stylist group.
Ooh.
And it's just, I mean, nobody should get in an MLM, obviously, but I just like, I guess I've always been like a leader, like a trailblazer, like, or whatever. And so I just wanted to like come in and like show people. It boggles my mind in this day and age when you go to certain parts of the world or country where it's so close-minded. My brain, it's outside of the realm of conception for me. So when I saw this and I saw these stay-at-home mom, we'll just cut it off there because like they're not bad people, but I just was like, there's got to be more. Like, beauty isn't boring.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so I just came in a little too hot, I guess. Just all of the marketing and stuff to me just always was like red flaggy. But did you have anything? I've talked on to my...
No, I wanted to give you a place to just fucking just let it all out, baby. And I want to make sure that you got everything out that you wanted to.
Oh, my mom doesn't see this. Sorry, Mom. That's the final.
Why? Oh, because you kind of like called her out for being a Mary Kate.
No, she doesn't know I quit.
Oh, fuck. So is she still in it?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder that horrible lady.
She was just talking to me. That woman, she cut off contact even early on. Like, I didn't have the support like from my upline from like cut off all contact.
Yeah.
Because I was asking too many questions.
Yeah.
Like I was questioning too many things, and you're only, after being told so many times like that I'm being negative when I just need a straightforward answer. Like,
so even like Monet recently, I saw a video of one of the, like, their president or one of their CEOs or something like that. There's like 3 dudes at the top. One of them was basically saying that like the people who make it in this business are the ones who don't ask questions. It's like, and that's so backwards
Yeah.
from, it's backwards from corporate America. In a regular job, they want to train you. They want to answer your questions so that you perform better. And in MLM,
Do shit on your own.
Right. In MLMs, it's the opposite. They want you to be complicit. They want you to roll over and die and just be like,
happy?
Yeah.
We're successful.
Exactly.
We're having a good time. You are amongst family.
And if you say you're not, you're negative. You need to change your mindset. So, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that fucking Color Street is the same as every other MLM we talk shit about. And it's most likely that every other MLM that we haven't talked shit about yet is probably the same way. Because you just keep hearing the same shit from this company and that company. It's like, that's the nature of these fucking companies. That's it.
And I guess my final word, actually, upon further thought, would be to keep your eye trained on Color Street, because, like I mentioned earlier, I've had a lot of other people messaging me. A lot of, I think 3 that I can think of right now that were major have left.
Whoa.
Yeah, after they came out with that new comp sensation plan, honey, they left.
And that was just
very secretly now.
That was just this year, right? It was like 2022.
Yes,
yeah.
They raised the prices, cut the commission, and so a lot of people now, and you always know the ones because they'll have this very cryptic link in their bio that like doesn't say anything about like what they do now, but email me. Thank you so much.
Do you want to plug yourself? I don't know. Do you want some followers on some platform somewhere? You can plug yourself if you want.
I guess you can follow me at, oh my gosh. You can follow me at Jared's Hair. Savannah will link that down below. And she's a boss ass bitch, the real kind. And I just want to plug Savannah. I love you dearly. Like I really do have love for you.
No, I have love for you too, and everything you've been through, and all the time you took to talk to me today. So,
girl, we shall rise. Okay,
mm-hmm.
Be up from here.
Hell yeah. Thank you again, Jeremy, for having that conversation with me. It was very eye-opening and enlightening, and you're just the best, and thank you. Since we're saying thank you to people, I guess it's time for me to thank my patrons and my members. You guys, these are the financial supporters of this channel. They get access to things like our private Discord server. We have a postcard club. You guys get early access to videos. You guys will get early access to this video if you are a financial supporter of mine. So if any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/Savannah Marie, or you can click the join button beneath this video. Just whatever platform works for you, it works for me. So the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Janelle Pratt, Cecilia Dudek, Christy Taylor, Elizabeth Wyatt, Nitty Dragon, Leanne, Molly Wasilewski, Ryan Mew, Sheila Tapia, Tiff C, Turd Ferguson, #GetTheW, Weatherington Law, Alice W, Amanda Shannon, April Lindblom, Boris Geller, Casey Scraper, Katrina Rosemarick, Daniel Urena, E. Higgins, Jerry Duncan, Hannah Morrison, Hannibal Crossing, Heidi Ha, Hippie Kansas Girl, Julia Wheeler, Kim Cartwright, Critter, Maddie Darley, Marley Fletcher, Princess Deathwish, Ray, Stephanie Hell, Tiffany Tuesday the 13th, Mitchie84, Tiffany Brust, Carol Jenks, Jessica Cecil, Colin F, Laura Nickel, Jess Kronfeld, Emion, Ian Shrouth, Jennifer Dyer, Caroline H, Auntie Lou, Krista Scantlin, Lizzie's Plantasy, and Fallon Lowry, and to the rest of my wonderful supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. And even if you're not a financial supporter, thank you for making it to the end of this video, because YouTube loves watch time. Thank you again, Jeremy, for being here on the channel and telling your story. Guys, Jeremy's stuff is going to be linked down below, so definitely go follow him because he's one of the realest. Keep making waves, babes. I'll smell you all later. Mommy Tsunami out.